Great time. And hopefully next
And maybe even some of us older owners is. But I'm back.
FIZZAH, it's the show about Mr. T. It's the show about Mr. T. Fools. Hey fools, Mr. T here. Begging the question, just what happened to Nintendo fans? Have you lost your will, your defiance, and determination? Have you tempered your expectations, lost your thirst for innovation, gameplay-focused games? Have you lost your zest for that Nintendo quality? You used to have more fight, more fire in your bellies. A lot of you fools have lost your damn backbone.
What happened? Your balls drop off?
It's been festering for about the last year and a half for what some fans consider the 1-2 punch of Splatoon and their issues with it, compiled with Nintendo's poor E3 digital event. Hell, you can even throw in some Metroid Prime Federation salt and possible Devil's Third becoming Devil's Turd to add to these fools' fragile emotions. You got crybabies versus worshippers, red ninjas versus black ninjas, gamers who just want to enjoy what they like versus the super ego gaming activists and politicians who want Nintendo fans to pass the damn litmus test and feel that if you ain't constantly sprinkling salt everywhere, just like them, then you're not a real fan. If you ain't buying the games that they like, then you're part of the problem. Egomaniacal assholes. I'll get into the activist elite in another video. This one is about the seemingly apparent changing tide in the heart of Nintendo fans. More and more, I keep hearing that Nintendo should just chase their power and add a, I quote, regular standard controller. No gimmicks, they say. The word gimmicks gets used a lot in this community, and it's mostly used wrong. In this community, it seems to mean anything that Nintendo does with hardware that's different from Sony and Microsoft. That's pretty much what they are saying. The actual definition of gimmicks, especially when it pertains to a consumer electronic, is a feature not normally associated with the core purpose of said product, used to entice a mass market appeal. So did you get that? A gimmick is a feature abnormal to a product, used to get people who wouldn't normally buy a certain product to buy it. You know, like adding movie playback in a video game console, or streaming Netflix and Hulu. Those are gimmicks. Now the Wii Remote and Gamepad, to some extent, fall under gimmick, but they are not full on because they ultimately serve gaming, the core purpose of a console, where movie playback does not serve gaming at all. The simplicity of swinging the Wii Remote certainly appealed to the masses, and at first glance, you could say the Gamepad was an attempt to appeal to millions of touchscreen and smart device users, although I'd argue the actual application of the Gamepad serves games with more complex gameplay and controls, and menus like RPGs and strategy games, which Wii U, unfortunately, has so few of. But some Nintendo fans believe that Nintendo would benefit from conforming to the power and standard controller setup for Nintendo's next console. They can live without Nintendo's uniqueness in hardware because they see it as a hindrance. To borrow some verbiage from Red Knight of Active Gamer Life, these fools want Nintendo to bend over and spread their cheeks wide for third parties to enter with no Vaseline. Fools, I've heard Nintendo fans saying Nintendo should money hat like Sony and Microsoft. Do whatever it takes to get them back. Do whatever it takes to get them to put their games on Nintendo consoles. Get on your knees, Nintendo, and beg and plead and prostitute for these games. Sell your soul, change your core philosophy, and bend to the will of third parties. Why not? Everybody else done did it, baby. Nintendo fans have given up. They're utterly defeated. They're ashamed and embarrassed to be Nintendo fans. They're rocking paper bags on their head like fans of an 0-12 NFL team. Sure, they'll still come to the games, but they are afraid to show their faces. But they ain't afraid to call you a bad fan or a fake fan for still coming to the game cheering for your team, unafraid to be seen. They're still wearing Nintendo jerseys, I guess, but now they are heckling their own team louder than the opposing team's fans. And anyone who doesn't join in on their chorus of boos are not real fans. How dare we still enjoy the game? They believe shouting from the rafters is the best way to evoke change. They don't realize that they've always had the power to change. All they have to do is stop buying tickets and leave the damn stadium. That's the best way to go. I've heard many fools say they wanted Nintendo to return to dominance of the NES and SNES. Man, That's massive ignorance. Fools, don't you fools realize the tactics used during the NES and the SNES era for Nintendo is what caused strained relations with third parties in the first place? It's funny that fools look back at the NES and the SNES and forget that a big part of what made them popular were innovations in hardware. The NES controller was innovative. The D-pad was innovative and made innovations to software possible. I mean, did you see controllers before the NES? Most of them were trash. The Super Nintendo controller was also innovative, bringing shoulder buttons and four-face action buttons, both industry standards. Started with Nintendo, and also the analog joystick with the Nintendo 64. But now, you want Nintendo to rest on their standards, rest on the laurels they created 20 plus years ago, and focus on PC architecture and raw horsepower. Excuse me if I don't swoon. If everyone is busy blowing third parties and chasing cutting-edge graphics, where is the innovation going to come from? There's only so much you can do when your hardware and controller mirrors your competition. Just look at the competition. You get so-called gamers cheerleading and bickering about minuscule differences in frame rates and pixel output. I mean, are you f***ing kidding me? What the hell has happened to gamers in general? Everyone is defeated. Old arguments about who's paying for online and who isn't has changed to who has a slightly better online service. It's a damn shame. That shit is embarrassing, fools. So excuse me if I choose to continue popping my Nintendo jersey in the stand at the game even when we lose. Because I know that the victories, when they happen, will always be sweetest on my team. And I know my team's best games is the reason I even watch other games. It's the reason I continue to care about the league as a whole. That is the gaming industry in the first place. Peace out. Oh yeah, one more thing. Play Nintendo, fools.
What happened? Your balls drop off? Hmm?